Okay, so I'm back. I forget what I was saying, so we'll just keep going. So let me see. Where do I have to get to? That's cool. I was going to point out something about. I know it sounds eerily specific, but about nipples. Usually, people tend to draw out the nipple, and they forget that light is hitting the nipple in the same way that it hits like any other shape. You know, I often tell students that they have to start thinking like light does, which sounds ridiculous now that I'm saying it out loud. But you know, light doesn't care what things are called. That's what I'm kind of trying to get to. You know, light will just, you know, it just kind of cascades through a shape, and it doesn't care. You know, it won't stop and just kind of circle around the nipple because it's a nipple and say, oh, okay, this is actually, it probably has some, just the slightest change in hue and value, so I have to kind of go, you know, I have to go around it. No, light just goes, you know, it goes through that shape. So always remember that, because people tend to like draw it out and they forget that nipple is actually being affected by the same light that's falling onto that breast. So always remember that. I know it's kind of strangely specific, but you see it often that it's worth pointing out. I see it so often that it's worth pointing out. Yeah, I wish the bad thing about this setup is that you can't see my palette. So, yeah. So I'm trying some things out. We'll see. But if you guys find that just seeing the palette is just incredibly useful, we'll go back to something where we can showcase the palette a little bit better. Or I'll try to find a way to do that. Okay, so that's better. There's a difference in just, I think, more in hue instead of value, between the cast shadow and the actual breast turning. But it's very, very slight. And I want to try to get that difference, but I have to remind myself that it's very small. So and in here it starts like a sharp shape. But then when it's part of the mass of the shadow of the shadow mass here, it kind of dissolves into it, which is really nice. Emil Robinson, ooh, he's so good. Woo. That dude can paint. He's an amazing colorist too. Right now, very almost abstract colorist, but oof, he can paint. He's very, very good. My girlfriend tells me that too. I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, your girlfriend is right. Your girlfriend is probably always right. ¿Se trabajaría igual con acrílicos? No tanto, no tanto porque no más el secado del acrílico es, hace que uno tenga que abordar como técnicamente un poquito la imagen. Porque el hecho de que seque tan rápido pues te da acceso a cosas que no se podrían hacer con el óleo. Let me grab so that's looking cool. That's looking cool. I have to push her like upper abdomen, and just how it turns and kind of turns away in that little shape of her rib cage. So let me try it because I really like that shape. Let me see. That's better. Again, your brushstrokes, they don't have to be the same. They don't have to be laid down with the same sort of strength. You can be very, very subtle when you lay down a stroke. You can just put just the tiniest bit of pressure on your brush, and that way you can actually use the paint that's underneath without disturbing it. So teach yourself how when you can be very bold with your brushstrokes, and when you want to just kind of very slowly drag your stroke on top of decisions that you've already made, and you don't disturb them. What's your typical palette? This would be quite right, actually. I made a decision to make it cooler, to go with a cooler palette today. But yeah, so ochre, titanium white, alizarin, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, and raw umber. So that's I would say that's pretty fine for me. It's a very neutral, cool palette, so always be mindful of that. If I see myself, using a small brush for too long, I have to really push myself to. Whoa, that's too light. Oh God, I have to push myself to just bring a bigger brush back again to the painting. How long esa mancha del pezón es brutal? Sí, acá sí, se describe con muy poco, con muy poco. Y la idea es tratar de mantener como ese sentido grande, ese sentido de que uno está describiendo luz, una masa afectada por luz, en vez de pensar en qué es lo que está describiendo la luz. Hey, how do you cope with being completely honest and personal and being commercially viable? That's so tough. It's probably like the toughest part. I don't know. I've been very lucky, I think, up to this point, because I had always worked with people that, gallerists that were willing to sort of give me liberty, and they understood their role as gallery directors, as people that would would find a place for my work. That's what they did, and I actually, I don't know, I was super lucky to just be surrounded by really, really nice people, I guess. In Russian, we are talking that you are cool. Yo en español estoy diciendo que ustedes rusos son increíbles. Y ustedes obviamente no van a entender eso, a menos de que haya por ahí un ruso que hable español, que no creo. Pero pues no voy a suponer cosas porque pues los rusos son súper chéveres. So I was lucky. I'm sorry. I always sacrifice being really serious about something to say something very stupid. I was saying how I don't know. I really don't know. I was lucky, and I think luck has to be part of it. I've known painters that are far more talented than I am, that have struggled, and they don't deserve to struggle. That's the honest truth. They don't. They're intelligent people. They're talented. They want to say really cool things through their work, and for some damn reason, life has been unfair to them. I don't know. I really don't have an answer. Sometimes it's just, you just have to meet the right person at the right, time of your life, and that's about it. And if you believe that you don't, if you really believe that you're not willing to compromise what you want to say, then it won't matter to you. If you say, this is who I am, these are the paintings that I make, and I honestly don't care if I do that well. Like, I chose to be a painter because it gives me the liberty to do these sort of things. Like, that's the life that I want to live. Then it won't matter to you, and you'll probably have to make some sacrifices in your lives and in your lifestyle. But those sacrifices are worth the moments that you can actually sit down and say, okay, now I'm going to paint, and I'm going to paint whatever the hell I want. And it's going to make it that much more satisfying when you actually sell, or when, or however you define success. But when you become successful through your, through you being faithful to what you wanted to say, what you've always wanted to say. So, I don't know. There's no easy answer. If there was an easy answer, I guess we would all be doing it. We would all be going about it the same way. But truth is, there's no easy answer. Oh, by the way, I'm being totally honest, because if there is something that I love just as much as painting, is football. And if anyone from Russia can set up a workshop for me this summer during the World Cup, that would be incredible. And if you can pay me enough so that I can actually, pay for tickets to see the World Cup, that would be incredible. So, people from Russia, if you were saying that I was cool, just let me see it. Let me see how cool do you think I am by just setting up a workshop for me and, you know, finding some World Cup tickets. It could be any tickets, but if you find tickets for Colombia, for the games that Colombia is going to be playing, that would be awesome. I won't charge money. I'll charge just tickets. Great idea. Where are you, Russians? Hell yeah! Uteka is saying something like, let's bring this guy here. I have no idea how to read Cyrillic, so I don't know. But yeah, you guys go with that. Set something up, something cool. And if it could be financed by some Russian oligarch, so that we can have enough money for great seats at, you know, matches in matches that Colombia's going to be playing. Freaking awesome. If painting takes me to just be able to see a World Cup, dream come true. What about St. Petersburg? How long does it take you to paint something like this? I don't know. We've been painting, what, an hour and a little bit? Maybe? Yeah, so it hasn't been a lot. The color, the priming, the primed surface has helped quite a bit, though. So yeah, DM me. Russians, DM me. I just want to make a few tiny little marks. Let me see. For the hands. So it's very abstract in here, but I want to have a space for her hands. Sort of here. That's cool. So right now, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but man, this surface really takes well paint. I'm surprised. Like, this was literally primed with a little bit of that alkyd medium and just brushing really heavily the like umber and white. And it took a couple of days to dry, but poof, it's good. It works really, really well, to be honest. So again, like I said, this is not meant to be like a finished painting, so I'm probably not going to push it a lot because its role is not supposed to be that. So it would be kind of pointless to push things now just superficially. Let me see. cool. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I mean, it clears up a lot of the stuff that I want to do with the bigger painting, and of course, you know, the bigger painting is not going to be as cool as this, which makes me kind of mad because I don't know why, you know, it's so freaking hard to try and get the same things you get on a smaller sketch when you're painting a bigger painting. It's so freaking hard. It's so unfair at times that you're able to get to things and you go to a bigger painting and it's almost like a different painting experience, like a completely different painting experience. That's almost, that maddens me like crazy. Yeah, this is very, very simple here, and I want it to remain simple and big. So when I look at it while I'm painting the bigger painting, I'm reminded of the things that I'm supposed to be reminded of, and not of like petty little details. So let me get to the hair just a little bit, and I think we're going to be done. Use bigger brushes on bigger paintings. Yeah, I know. I wish, I wish we could. You know, if we could explain ourselves what to do with painting, and just execute what we know we're supposed to do. It would be so easy. It would be so ridiculously easy. But for some reason, it just gets harder. Because if you extrapolate the size of the brushes to be sort of proportionate to the size of the painting that you're going to be doing, then it's just easy. Then you just go like, okay, you know, I get it. Just if I use this brush size to make that face, then all I need is that brush size to make that head in that bigger painting. And again, I wish it was, you know, it is that easy, but it's not as simple as that. I wish it were. Or maybe it is as simple as that, and we're just very complicated, dumb human beings that we just make, you know, life a little bit harder for ourselves when we know what we have to do. So I think this is pretty cool. This is, yeah, I actually really like it. I'm glad I was able to solve it with, well, at least no issues. I mean, and by issues I mean like many times you're just painting and you have to do something and then kind of retrace your steps and then do it again and then you know, fall back onto a state where the painting was a little bit better, and it's a mess. But when the painting feels sort of progressive, it's very nice. That feeling is very, very nice. So yeah, and I think this kind of has that. There's a wholeness to it that I really, really like. So God, my umber got super dirty. I'm so careless sometimes with my palette that it... And I tell myself, come on, dude, just be a little more careful next time. I'm never able to do that. Okay, that's gonna, yeah, I think that's fine. I always say this, and I keep I keep just going back to the palette, trying to do like one more stupid stroke. What the hell? Okay. But I really like this kind of dark shape up top. This gesture up top. It's very nice. It's very nice. So yeah, I'm happy with it. So that's going to be that belly is so fleshy. Love it. Yeah. That was the whole point. It, you know, but when you think about light, and not what light is describing, you tend to be able to get to those descriptions. And usually the counter argument is also true. Like when you start describing hands or lower abdomen or whatever you're saying, you may be able to get to a lot of information and detail, but you sacrifice other stuff. So always remember that there's no perfect way to paint. There's no way to paint that ticks all the boxes. Like when we make decisions, those decisions have to sort of be inscribed in a balance. They have to belong to this balance. And many times when we put a lot of our when we bet on a lot of our sensitivity and we push everything to one side, that's going to mean that our balance is going to be weighted to one side, and we sacrifice things. But that's totally cool if you're willing to do that. So torso is really amazing. Yeah. I'm happy with the way it came out. So we're going to leave it like that because I want to keep that. I want to keep it just like that so I can see it while I'm painting, and I can reference it while I'm painting. So that's what we were going to do today. Let me see if I can show you my palette. And this is the and I'll show you what I meant by. Let me see. I'm going to miss these couple of strokes in this piece of tape, but that's fine. Whoa! So I think this bit is dry. So. Like I said, this is paper. This is paper from a sketchbook, and what I did was I glued with spray mount. I put some spray mount. Can that focus? Yeah. So it's very loose, if you can see. Super loose. Super loose. So I glued it with spray mount. Let me see do I have my spray mount? I think I already put it somewhere. But so that's the piece, and let me show you what I used for a palette. So we're gonna swerve here. I'm gonna try not to show my legs because it's my computer. Let me see. There we go. There we go. So that's the palette. Saludar a Eri Díaz. Hola, Eri Díaz. Yeah. Save this life, please. Missed beginning. Yeah. The beginning is actually up. It's probably up now. So let's see. I didn't use that. I didn't touch that, so don't worry about it. But So that's I used a ton of it. Fuck me, I should learn how to not waste paint. Whew. That is my titanium white with dryers. That is, I think, I don't know if I put extra yellow ochre there, because I always dirty up my colors. Jesus. Because I had like some, what is it, like older yellow ochre on the palette, and I stabbed it to see if there was some fresh color underneath. And there was some, and I think I used some of that, but I think I did put some. I didn't use that, which is cat red medium, so don't worry about that one. I used alizarin right over here. I used umber over here, and I used ultramarine. And I used that medium. That's Sennelier, what is it called? Flow and Dry. That's such a horrible name. That's the stuff that I used to scrape my palette. That's a blade to, put in that scraper when that blade is gone. Palette knife that I didn't use today. And these were the brushes. I didn't end up using all of those. But if you can see, let's see. Those are my darks. Those are my cooler, there's a cooler area in my palette, which I try to keep somewhat clean. And this is an area of my palette that it was sort of the lights, but midtones to lights. And like I say, I have a puddle. I usually have a puddle, and if you can tell like where the areas are. Like this is the area where I would mix more alizarin. This is where I would mix more ochre. This is where I would mix more of the umber. And if I go over there, I mix some of the blue. So I'm actually, yeah, this is my larger palette. This one I use for my larger paintings. Although this painting was pretty small, but so again, I may be very unorganized with my paint, and I treat my paint very badly because this is terrible. That's terrible there. But I try to be careful with my areas, the areas in my palette when I mix. So, I kind of make up for this mess up here with sort of clarity here, I think. ¿Vas a hacer un video cuando pintes a mayor escala? Sí, voy a tratar. Sí. Voy a tratar, cuando hago un cuadro más grande, lo que tiende a pasar es que el proceso es un poquitico distinto, me doy la oportunidad de hacer como más capas, entonces de pronto ahí cambia un poco. So, that was it for today. Reference on screen. Now, I'm sorry, but if we put that reference right now, somebody's going to complain about seeing nudity on screen, and those people are going to have this video down, and I hate that. And I know it's so annoying, but I hate that. But yeah, so let's not give Instagram the chance to put the video down. So, ¿podrías enseñarnos el producto que usas para preparar el papel? No, pero el papel, o sea, yo lo que hice fue pegar un pedazo de lino preparado al papel. ¿Listo? O sea, le hice como un backing, como un refuerzo de papel al lino. ¿Por qué? No sé, solo por tratar de hacer cosas. Y lo que hice fue pintar en el lino, en un lino que ya tenía imprimación, y le puse una imprimatura con la tierra de sombra y el blanco. Se la puse con un poquito del liquid, pues el medio alquídico. La paleta en español que usé fue blanco de titanio, amarillo ocre, rojo alizarín, tierra de sombra natural y azul ultramar. Thank you from Holland. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Oh God. Marijevan Toledo. No, estoy fatal. Bueno, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Nos veremos la próxima. Pero hoy fue como un estudio de colorcito ahí chévere para tenerlo en mente cuando esté pintando ya la pintura más grande. Entonces, muchas gracias. Ciao, Lines. So awesome. Thank you all. Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.